Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, well, this is the last show before the big election day. What are you going to do for election day? I tell you what I'm going to do for election day. I'm not going to go down to Mar-a-Lago. I'm not going to go any place, but I'm going to be at home. I want to be at home in front of the television where I can actually watch everything, digest it, stay on top of it. I don't want to go to a watch party. I've been invited to a few. I appreciate the invites. All right, Kamala Harris stopped in for a last-minute Saturday Night Live shing-ding, and she was in the mirror. You know, they do that when they're really the person. So the person who's playing Kamala Harris is in the mirror looking at her. Well, guess what? The FCC is really pissed off, shocking, because they say this was a clear attempt to violate the rules on equal time. And the FCC's pissed off. Once again, they cheat. They do everything to cheat. Well, what did they do? They gave Trump a free commercial in the middle of NASCAR. His people. Saturday Night Live, her people. I guess, I don't know. All right, Bush 43. Bill Clinton, come on, George. And Cheney, Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney says it's time for President Bush to endorse Kamala Harris. And Bill Clinton says he understands why he didn't endorse. People don't realize this. George Bush, 43, who is the third worst president in our history, behind Joe Biden and Barack Obama, is a complete frat boy, waste of time president. And you know what? His not endorsing Trump or Kamala Harris is an endorsement of Kamala Harris. You know, that's just the way it is. Good old George Bush became chummy with the Obamas and the Clintons. It's unbelievable. But that's where he is. It's all about the fraternity of presidents. It's not about saving our country from them and their globalist view. Remember, his vice president, Dick Cheney, warmongers. He blew up the Middle East. Yeah, we owe all of that to good old George Bush 43. George Bush 43 slept on our economy. Remember the collapse of our domestic economy? Almost completely collapsed. His watch. 9/11, his watch. Blowing up the Middle East, his watch. Who would ever thought there'd be a worse president than him? Then came along Barack Obama. All right, Roanoke College swim team. Trump did go to Virginia because he does have a chance there. Guess what? They all came up in support of Trump because no men on the women's swim team. Accentuating that issue. All right, the Trump versus Harris work ethic is going to be on full display today. How is Kamala Harris closing out? In Pittsburgh with the rally, Katy Perry and all them. Where's Trump going? North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania. He's going to 3 or 4 states. He will rally all the way up past midnight. You watch. He'll add a trip. He'll do it. You watch. Nikki Haley did an op-ed endorsing Donald Trump. See, the Trump campaign's still a little irritated they had to do that primary with her. So they haven't brought her in the camp. But she's playing it smart by not going against the camp. So she's keeping her hopes alive to be president maybe one day. All right, Trump blasted Mitch McConnell. He said McConnell endorsing him was probably one of the most painful days in his history. He basically, he trashed McConnell. But you know what? I give McConnell props. At least he's not like these other Republicans who don't endorse Trump, like Mitt Romney, etc. Danica Patrick, NASCAR legend, endorsed Trump. Herschel Walker spoke for Trump down in Georgia. I met Herschel Walker. He was one of my athletic heroes. Amazing football player. Good guy. Iowa. There's a big poll saying, Harris might win Iowa. BS. Trump's going to win Iowa. Elon sat down with NVIDIA's founder to try to make a deal with XAI. And you know what? Elon Musk. Thank God Elon Musk is a good guy because he is the king of the world, man. Satellites, space exploration, social media platform, cars, now AI. Thank goodness he's not George Soros. Kathy Hochul says any Trump supporter who votes for Trump are anti-woman and anti-American, the governor of New York City. Biden again. Biden said he wanted to go beat some ass, smack some ass of Trump supporters.
But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. You like to smack in the ass.
Oh, my God, Biden. And by the way, they canceled. He was supposed to make phone calls and whatnot. They canceled all campaign appearances with Kamala Harris. LeBron James endorsed Kamala Harris. Man, I like LeBron except for his politics. CNN went after Harris, very difficult with all of the shenanigans that she's been playing, including saying one thing in one speech in one crowd, saying something different in another crowd. CNN busted her on it. This Marine pilot of the F-35B, Colonel Charles Trey Del Pizzo, 49. Remember that plane that crashed in South Carolina? Well, apparently they fired this pilot. He apparently could have continued flying the plane despite losing his automatic controls, and that's why they fired him. So he bailed out when he shouldn't have bailed out. Interesting. Jim Brown's daughter, Kimberly, has endorsed Donald Trump. Save the squirrels. You hear about this? Kamala Harris's, the feds went in and killed a squirrel in the house, said it was illegal. And Elon Musk says Trump will save the squirrels. You know, if you got a pet squirrel, really? Shouldn't you have a right to have a pet squirrel? Come on, a pet squirrel isn't like a pet alligator or a pet python. All right, inflation is the worst it's been at a presidential election since 2008. Let's see what happens. Pennsylvania's on the ground. Democrats are saying the Harris campaign's been incompetent. All kinds of woes that they're saying with the campaign. Act Blue is a big fundraising arm for Kamala Harris, apparently taking foreign money. Republicans are on it like green on grass. Jobs report Friday was terrible. They're expecting like 150,000, 200,000 jobs, 12,000 jobs. Jordan Neely trial, he's the Marine that chokehold that guy. It came out, the police officer testified that nobody wanted to give that guy mouth to mouth because he was a street person and everybody was worried that they would get HIV, et cetera, et cetera. Can you blame them? You can't. I can't blame them. Apparently they have a special mask to use under those circumstances, but they didn't have it. Sarah Palin was getting ripped for dressing sexy on a Newsmax interview. I'm sorry, I don't see it. Well, I mean, come on, man. What's so awful about this? And Waltz bragged, they found a letter, him bragging about his Chinese contacts and Chinese influence in Minnesota. Wendy's, corporate Wendy's, not the franchisees, are shutting down 140 Wendy's across the country where they're claiming that the neighborhoods are no longer worthwhile. We'll see. And Hugh Hewitt from CNN walked off on a podcast and quit CNN very explosively. Do you blame the guy? He's a conservative, of course. Do not be a rank-setted roguish clod. I was very disappointed that I've lost 2 out of 3 games to Spindley today. It makes him a rank-setted roguish clod accordingly. Coming up next, local news. Ladies and gentlemen, American jury, here's local news. 471 bridge between Newport and Cincinnati, crossing the Ohio River, for those of you that aren't from around here, caught on fire. How does a concrete metal bridge catch on fire, Jamie Spindley? I don't understand it. I guess there's a little bit of wood, but the bottom line is that it's shut down, might be shut down for a month. Apparently there could be structural damage. Well, we know in our modern society that it'll take 5 years for them to fix the bridge. Florence stabbing. Man, Michael Johnson, 48, was arrested for stabbing in Pinehurst. 2 people were hospitalized, or 1 was hospitalized, my bad. Man, they're bringing out the knives, not just the guns. And the Ormsby, I got to make fun of this. I got to make fun of a competing media company. The Northern Kentucky Tribune did a big old glowing story about the Ormsby. This is a retirement community being built at the location of the former drawbridge, okay? Mike Brandy's doing, I like Mike Brandy. Mike Brandy's a good businessman. I like him. Don't have any issue with Mike Brandy. But there is a collaboration with St. E's as a nonprofit retirement community. And she acts like, Judy Claves writes this article like, oh, how wonderful this is. You know, of course, St. E's sponsors the Northern Kentucky Tribune. But what I just want to point out to everybody, you know what this is all about? St. E's getting their teeth in to these 270 senior citizens. Can you imagine all the medical needs they need? It's a way of attaching themselves to it. It's all about the money, money. This is a nonprofit retirement community. St. E's is a nonprofit hospital. Look what they do. Billing fraud left and right. St. E's is an evil healthcare monster. They truly are. And this is another example of it. All right, Melissa Powers, the Hamilton County prosecutor, responded to a complaint that was allegedly not filed by the Pillage folks. Yeah, right, last minute. Said that she backdated documents and order just like, who was that judge? I can't believe I forgot the name of the judge. Anyway, they're accusing Powers of backdating Tracy Hunter, backdating an order like Tracy Hunter. Well, guess what? She says she corrected an order. It wasn't a backdating, it was a correcting. I stand with Melissa Powers. I hope she wins. It's going to be tough because she's the last woman standing, so to speak, in Hamilton County, or last office standing. All right, coming up next, Jamie Spindley and his World News.
Today's World News, the latest headlines. Lahore, Pakistan is struggling with serious bad air quality, prompting officials to take emergency measures. All schools are closed for a week, and office employees will work remotely under a green lockdown. Children are especially vulnerable, and face masks should be required. Devastation struck a refugee camp in Uganda when a lightning bolt hit a church gathering, killing 13 children and 1 adult. The strike injured 34 others as worshippers attended an evening service. This incident follows recent heavy storms in the region, including intense lightning. In other news, a devastating landslide in India's mountain region has killed at least 36 people, local officials report. Authorities have launched an investigation into the disaster, which unfolded with challenging weather conditions. And an early morning volcanic eruption in eastern Indonesia killed at least 10 people. Rescue operations are ongoing as authorities assess the full impact of the disaster. You're up to date on the world news. Up next, Sports Without Boundaries.
All right, Sports Without Boundaries. The Bengals kicked the Raiders' ass, 41-24. You know what happened after the game? The Raiders fired their offensive coordinator. Wow. College football, I'm not going to cover all the scores, but I want to do this. Oregon is numero uno, and my Alabama moved up 2 points by not even playing. Buccaneers versus Chiefs is the big game tonight. Remember, the Bengals play this Thursday. UK basketball starts tonight. They play Wright State. Got to be excited about that. Loretta Little's headed down there. They got season tickets. Joe Embiid, I like this guy. He went after a reporter and said, "You mention my dead brother again, you'll see what I'll do to you." I like it. You got to have some passion. And my Dallas Cowboys suck. They lost to the Falcons. Why don't they fire McCarthy? I don't know. CeeDee Lamb's hurt. Dak Prescott's hurt. The highest paid player in the NFL. He sucks. And Caden Lewis, one of the top point guards in the country, has committed to play basketball at the University of Kentucky. Coming up next, pop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with pop culture. Quincy Jones, most famous. He worked for Sinatra and others, but he was really most famous for Michael Jackson's work, right? He's passed away at 91 years old. James Vanderbeek, 46, 47, announced that he has colorectal cancer, and he's hopeful. I like James Vanderbeek. And juror number 2 is out. Clint Eastwood said he was done. He can't help it. He made another movie. Wouldn't it be great if Clint Eastwood made Butcher Pakistan? Yeah. That's what we need. We need Clint. Anyway, juror number 2, I'm anxious to go see it. And Shirley MacLaine's did a photograph book and telling about her history. And she says JFK and Bobby Kennedy were doing Marilyn Monroe at the same time. Like literally at the same time after the party after his birthday. Disgusting behavior of the Kennedys. Still love you, Bobby Jr. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.